see that the road's not there, or cleaned up before the end of the working day. If someone calls us and we get them, so we'll go out and take a look at it, we'll issue the same order. If it's not clean, then the village will send a street cleaning machine down there. We'll clean it and draw that against the bond, the stormwater maintenance bond that's on the property. If we get a call, that's, we do that. We don't make somebody clean it up right when the mess happens, because typically it's wet and they're either tracking throughout the day, but at the end of the day we want it cleaned up, and we want it cleaned up so that through that night or until they get back on the side it's in normal condition. I think the troubling things in the pictures here that I was troubled with, I mean, it was clearly a mess, and it looks like it was winter season, spring season construction, wet season construction. But cement trucks picking up they're cleaning out their trucks in a ditch line or things like that. That's we chase after those guys all the time. And anybody sees a cement truck cleaning out its doing a clean out in a drainage way, a culvert, and things like that, calls us and know who to get after to clean that out. And we got a picture on this one, so I know who to go after. So we can't. I wish we were at all these sites all the time. We have 3 building inspectors that are covering 34 square miles, but if somebody calls us, snaps a digital picture, snaps a picture, and it gives us something to work with, and we'll get out and take a look at it and go after it. But it could be, if the board wants to take some time to have the staff evaluate what Mr. Rizzoni is proposing, this might alleviate some of the issues on 28th in that one section there.
Being that Prairie Trails East has an extension, I think that runs through 09, and this can't proceed until that is developed. I'd like to make a motion to table this for the purpose of pursuing talks between the Orchard and Prairie Trails East to explore the possibility of the road going through.
Second.
Could we hear from the engineer before?
We have a motion and a second so far.
That's before the motion.
I just have a question, Mike. Concern was raised about this year's snow melt will be affected by the subdivision. Will the subdivision have any effect on this year's snow melt?
I hope not. Snow melt, even under one subdivision is developed, snow melt's going to go into a detention basin and be held there until it releases.
I guess the question is, anything been done there so far that will change the snow melt and what happens from what normally would happen before this development occurs?
No, not right now.
And we're hoping that any development will actually improve the conditions out there.
The development as proposed, the design will actually hold more snow melt than the current condition.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We're going to hear from the engineer first.
Yeah.
Just need your name and address.
Good evening. My name is Fuad. I'm speaking on behalf of the Orchard. That proposal about having temporary access from Prairie Trail East, we don't have an objection to that. We've even discussed it among staff at one point. We even discussed it with Prairie Trail East. We're supposed to be working out as an agreement for construction access, water easement, and so forth. That's going to be part of our agreement with the Prairie Trail East to bring it into a kind of, because they have to grant the access. If they don't grant us an access, we can't use that temporary construction through the site, and we think it's a good idea because it alleviates the problem on 28th Avenue, and also it eases the concerns of neighbors who live there and kids and so forth, schools. We think it's a great idea. We do like to push ahead with this, even though that Prairie Trail East is going forward or on a kind of waiting for their approval. We'd like to get this thing behind us, this variance on this cul-de-sac. We have another, for the final plat, we can make it contingent part of the final plat approval, this construction access. So I'm requesting to give us approval tonight on this variance so we keep this, we're going on a slow pace. We still have a lot to iron out with Prairie Trail East, but we need to keep these things moving as we can. I think we're here to work with you, and we've been working with the staff and the village. There's no reason to postpone it or table it for another meeting.
Hey.
For Gene, how long do you think it would take between the Orchards and Prairie Trails to iron something like this up?
Could be a month or two.
So if we came here at this time next month, at the next 2 board meetings, this agreement could be in place and it could be voted for up or down, right?
Could be.
I understand what you're saying, but we also have to, I think we have to take into consideration some concerns of the people in the neighborhood. They've been pretty adamant on this whole thing all along. And as long as this subdivision can't really proceed until Prairie Trails is approved, I would feel a lot better if we can get this thing ironed out and then bring it back to us for approval instead of moving on tonight.
Okay.
Can I clarify something that I thought I made my motion to table, maybe it wasn't clear enough that I wanted to explore talks and have talks between the two, not for a temporary construction road, but attaching the 2 subdivisions. Not the temporary, for construction only. So if the second didn't understand that, I don't know if you have to take that back, but that is, Gene?
That may be a problem, because the preliminary plat had been approved for Prairie Trails East as well as the final plat with an extension of time, and the developer is entitled to approval of that subdivision the way it was initially approved by the village, without making any alterations to it. We certainly can address it as a permanent situation, but he's not required to make any modifications since he's already entitled to a layout that's been approved. So I doubt that he would agree to that, but I certainly think a temporary situation for a period of time while the 2 subdivisions are under construction would seem to be more reasonable.
Mr. President? I think you have consideration on this. It's not too pass some judgment on the trustee Allen's thing, but the issue before us tonight is the variance. If the board wants to, as a result of that variance, replat, say we need to replat the subdivisions, I think at that point, what we'd be in essence saying is we need to deny this. Deny the variance, go back, wait for the final plats to be submitted, and then deny those final plats, assuming that the developers weren't amenable to amending their plats. I think, and also to do that, we probably want to reevaluate the traffic study for the benefit of the developer as well as the benefit of people on 28th, because now we'll be directing more traffic out of Prairie Trails East, up 27th to 120th, creating an intersection on 20th Avenue that would be carrying a lot more traffic than this would be now a through street traffic out of the subdivision into that intersection. So that would be a significant change both in traffic and the nature of the plat. So if your motion is that we halt the plat before we do act on that, I think you need a motion to deny the variance.
I'll go forward and make a motion to deny the variance.
We already have a motion on the floor, we have to do all that.
Do I remove it? I have a withdraw my motion to table.
Second?
Yeah.
Okay, motion.
I'll make a motion to deny the variance. Do I need to state the purpose for future talks?
I think
Or
we
final
need to
plat?
clarify it or clarify
I guess I'd like to deny the motion for variance for the purpose of extending the talks to go forward with, before they come forward with final plats, to look at extending 120th Street into the Prairie Trails East subdivision.
I don't think in my opinion, make it subject to. I think it's going to be a problem with that, like I said, because it's already flat.
Let's back up. We don't have a second on Clyde's motion. And
Sure, a second.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's going to be.
So you're a second to this motion? Hearing none, motion dies for lack of a second. Mike?
Mr. Chairman, I move to table this variance until Prairie Trails East in order to